This is their most important document in their life. They live the American dream. They bought a house. They want to know who owns their mortgage. And nobody cared. I'm being dead honest. Nobody went to jail. Jamie Dimon's still floating around. All the banks are floating around. I asked all of the banks, the top 5 banks, I privately went to them and said, will you come to the Salem Registry of Deeds and sit in my office? No press, no nothing. I want to show you what your bank did. All I want you to do is come up with a solution. Not one of them showed up. Not one of them responded. They ignored me. Well, they found out that Jeff and I, you can ignore us, but we've got one thing. We got a mouth. And then we met you guys with the con. And if I can say this, and I'm going to say it, the con should have been on national television. It should have been on HBO. It should have been on Netflix. And we all know why it wasn't. We all know why it wasn't. Because they didn't want the American people to hear the truth and see the truth as to what these banks did. And trust me, it's going to happen again.
True to form, Mr. O'Brien just really loads up the pens and knocks them down, because from my perspective as the producer of the con with my colleague Eric, I mean, none of this made sense, quite frankly, until we started meeting the likes of you and John, Jeff. And we pulled every single thread, every single facet of the situation. And now at this point, when we've got the product on a platinum platter, that we had not just the dignity and the integrity of you guys and your professionalism, but from the SEC, the FBI, the DOJ, AGs that got RICO convictions on this whole thing, but yet this isn't good enough for national television on something that basically destroyed at least 16 million filed foreclosures, which is like 50 million people, and led to trillions and trillions of dollars in the aftermath. Crickets. Give us some perspective on the inside of what this macro version looks like from the details of your office.
Well, John does a great job of laying it out. I mean, and one of the things that's really important for us to understand, and if we don't understand this, nothing else makes sense, is we have to understand the history. And for a register of deeds, we come to work every day and we file land record documents from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. People, get their homes and move in. But what was going on, particularly in the late 80s and 90s, and I think Bill Black and some of your guests get into it, is, banking goes from being something that is really boring to something that, with the breaking down of Glass-Steagall, with the onset of securitization engines beginning to take shape within Wall Street,